Hey there, freelancers. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video once again. I'm going to be covering the Facebook Marketplace review for 2020, something that you can consider for yourself, and a little bit of reasons why I feel it's a good Craigslist alternative and why you should be using it over that, and how you can, just a little bit of a quick tutorial as well of just quick ideas to make some extra side money that you can be considering for yourself through a variation of retail arbitrage. If you like this video, make sure to like it and comment below your own input on Facebook Marketplace and subscribe to the channel and all that kind of fun stuff. But I'm going to jump right into it here now. If you're not familiar, Facebook Marketplace essentially is kind of like Craigslist, but you can kind of pick and choose different items and meet people locally. The nice thing compared to Craigslist is it's not as easy to be anonymous, which is a good thing because you can actually see the person's profile and their input and things like that, their pictures, and you can see their other listings and all that kind of stuff. It's more public and it's more straightforward to the point. And I'm just going to do some basic scroll through here. As you can see, pretty much multiple different categories. They have all of the marketplace, vehicles, home and garden, rentals, home sales, entertainment, clothing and accessories, family, electronics, hobbies, classifieds, and deals. And deals are 50-50 on whether they're worth considering or not, but there isn't much room for flipping in that regard, for Facebook Marketplace flipping, so to speak, mainly because the deals aren't really all that great. Occasionally there's a good deal, but overall, I would say you're not going to get much of a bargain on that comparative to things like Amazon and stuff like that. However, it's something that Craigslist doesn't really offer to any real degree, so that's something you can keep in mind. You can see the location basis up here in the top left. Just like Craigslist, you can choose different locations and you can search different things and stuff like that. Craigslist has something a little bit better going for it that essentially you can find items more free and stuff like that. There isn't as many free listings here, despite things like the couch listed here for free. A lot of people on Facebook like to put it as free so they get bumped up on the listing, but then you open the listing and in the listing they ask to say make an offer or something like that. It's a bit of a deceptive practice that they do, but people do that similar on eBay and other platforms where they do free shipping, but then they just add the cost of the free shipping into the actual total price. So in essence, you're paying what you would have paid for the shipping anyways, but it bumps them up on the listing. So that is why they do that kind of thing. Craigslist, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar. And why I'm suggesting Facebook Marketplace flipping over Craigslist as an alternative is essentially Craigslist is a very, very kind of discreet type of thing. It's a very discreet service. You don't have to put a lot of information in. They sort of tried to make you put a little bit more in, but a lot of people still kind of sideways essentially avoid that aspect of it. Craigslist does offer a variety of larger categories, and for a classifieds, basically a free classifieds, it's still a pretty good tool. It offers a variety of different categories as well, and they're all just kind of right up there in front of you. Some people are more familiar with Craigslist. There's a little bit more traffic and parts to it. For the free area, it's very beneficial because on Facebook, a lot of people still aren't using the marketplace to list that stuff, so it's if you're a collector of some sort or you just want to collect these free things to potentially resell, maybe you have a shop or something like that for your own retail arbitrage. If you can store that kind of bulkier furniture and people put things on the street and things like that, you're going to find it more often listed on Craigslist. You got community services, discussion forums, housing, jobs, and for sale. So there's a lot of categories and a lot of keywords and things you could search for a lot easier through this. Craigslist offers a more straightforward classifieds listing, whereas Facebook sort of does, and you can still sort of search, but it's a bit easier to surf around on Craigslist, especially with more live deals and things like that. The downside is that Craigslist will not always have listings removed. People don't really follow up with Craigslist as much as they do on Facebook. Facebook, you'll have the marketplace listing kind of disappear and go poof, and that's done with, and that's it. Craigslist, you can see a listing up and you can contact the person, and the likelihood you're going to get a response is pretty slim, so that makes it a little iffy for some things, especially if you're meeting up with someone for a trade or whatever. I would recommend always meeting up with people, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, in a public place, nowhere anywhere private. Preferably near a police station if you want to be a little safer, but generally in a public, well-lit place. I wouldn't recommend meeting up with people in the middle of the night or things like that, because that runs a risk of you as a person trusting in someone that you've never met before. So that's very something to consider when you're doing this kind of flipping and things like that, if that's what you're considering using it for. If you're just looking for bargains or whatever, but I'd assume if you're listening on this channel, you are looking for Facebook Marketplace flipping tips and things like that. I'll be covering them in other videos, so make sure to like this video, comment on this video if you have input on Facebook Marketplace, and subscribe to the channel. But I'm going to just keep going here. These are some recent news sources from in association with Craigslist, how they're going to set up internet exchange zones and uh, other things that I'm not going to mention here that'll get my video flagged. But essentially, there's a lot going on in regards to Craigslist and things you should be avoiding. But essentially, Craigslist is not a safe comparative to Facebook Marketplace. Facebook people use their actual profiles, they use that for a social setting, so they have all their pictures and their families associated and all these connections and stuff. And it's not too hard to trace which is a legitimate profile and which is a legitimate person and which one's safer to deal with and which one's not. They have a bit of a rating score as well, which is kind of nice. It's not super helpful. They are working on that though, and it will get better over time. But Facebook Marketplace has been around for quite a while now. A lot of people still don't use it. I'm not really sure why, whether on a buying or a selling end. It's beneficial for both. I feel that it's a little bit better to buy on there and then push towards something like eBay. And I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Now, this is just an example random listing here. Got different games here, and they're looking for $5 each. Now, just an easy flip here to cover more of the Facebook Marketplace tutorial 2020 aspect. You got Mario here, and they were selling it for $5 recently. A lot of them sold for $13 to $15. These are pre-owned, and this is a sold listing just recently. This is December 12th as I'm making this video. That sold for 15, and the game was selling for $5. So that's over an 100% return on investment. Obviously, there's shipping costs, and then there's taxes and things like that. But there's a lot of easy flipping that you can do in bulk, and now it takes time and things like that. There's listing fees, and then there's other fees, and then if you wanted to sponsor your ad and things like that. This is an interesting one, though, that it was a new listing and it sold almost immediately. Uh, Gaming and things like that are very highly collectibles. Type of stuff is very, very popular and things to sell. Get into more details in that in another video where I'm going to be doing more of a detailed tutorial if you want to check that out. It'll be probably in the description below, but I'll kind of put it in the page here for the front end for different tutorials I'm doing and reviews of different services in relation to freelancing. You can check all of that out in the description and in the page there, especially if you subscribe so you can get notifications for future videos that are coming up. Subscribe button would be in the bottom right there, and you just click it and check the notifications, and it's pretty straightforward. I do have a Patreon as well if you want to consider contributing to that, if you want more videos like this. something similar to that scale of things is $5 a month, 35 and 60. The guidance can help you in a variety of different freelancing if you want to talk to me more directly, kind of like a consultation type of thing. Would highly recommend that one. That will require you to join into Discord, which I'm going to cover here in just a second, which is a free chat. I still share my own input for free here. You can check it out. Got the general chat and stock alerts, swing alerts, option alerts, a whole bunch of things for traders. But since this is the freelance channel here, there's a lot of different things like this tutorial video and other videos coming up that you can check out for yourself. Freelance Fastcast, guidance area, tools that you can consider, websites that you can consider, a whole lot of sources here, apps that you can consider, and so on and so forth. There's even a promo area there if you want to promote your own variations of things like that. This Discord has over 1,000 people as I'm making this video. It's a somewhat active chat, but during the holidays it's been a little bit slow. It will pick up a little bit more as this channel and other channels grow. So it's something you can consider for yourself. And if you like this video, once again, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below your own input on Facebook Marketplace. And if you'd like to see more videos just like this, be covering a variety. I have about 4 or 5 other ones planned in regards to Facebook Marketplace because I use it a lot personally. So it's something to check out if you like this video, and it'll be like a little bit of a mini series that I'll be doing in addition to just the freelancing videos in general as well. Thanks for listening in and have a nice day.